with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We're looking at the Thursday 6-game main slate over on DraftKings. It is trade deadline day. Of course, we are recording prior to the trade deadline. So as we said on yesterday's preview show, things we say now may be irrelevant by the time we go live at 5 p.m. with players swapping teams. Of course, tonight we had the Jimmy Butler trade go down. Butler heading out to Golden State, signs a 2-year, $121 million contract extension. On the flip side, you see Wiggins going back to the Miami Heat. You see Dennis Schroeder finding his way to Utah in that deal. Kyle Anderson and was it PJ Tucker in Miami? There's like a whole bunch of
Lindy Waters to Detroit. Yeah, Lindy Waters to Detroit randomly in that trade as well.
Right. So, but the big names moving Dennis Schroeder to Utah because they don't have enough guards. I have to assume that a trade with Utah is going to happen at some point. Right?
That was because they don't have enough guards is freaking hilarious.
If they go past tomorrow with Schroeder, Sexton, Clarkson, Collier, and Keontae George.
Oh, it's literally malpractice.
Yeah. Somebody is getting bought out or traded from Utah. Be on the lookout for a deal for sure there.
Yeah.
They're not on the slate, though, so we don't have to worry about it. Golden State is. They obviously won't have all of those players. I doubt they have Butler available, given the fact that it's been 6 hours by the time you guys watch this, probably, since that trade goes down. So, they'll be a bit shorthanded. Luka Doncic will not play for the Lakers, but could debut Saturday. So LA still without Luka on that slate for him. Dallas, Anthony Davis already out, I think.
No, he's officially listed questionable. Yep, could make the debut.
We may see AD debuting against Boston here for Dallas. How about that one? Kyrie and AD going into Boston.
I know. Did you see the reports today about what they tried to do in 2018?
Yeah, was it him, Durant, and Davis? Yeah.
And Tatum in Boston. They tried to formulate a super team in Boston.
Interesting. Didn't work. Kyrie Irving stayed 1 year, ruined the team. 2 years.
Oh, you're funny tonight, bro. You're on the roll.
Absolutely.
You're on a roll. You're on a roll.
Absolutely ruined the team. Sacramento tonight traded for Jonas Valanciunas. Again, don't think he'll be available for them in this spot, but just, they got that backup center that they've been looking for. That's probably it. Houston traded for Jaden Springer. I don't know what that does for them or who goes away, but we'll see what happens. See what happens in that spot there. So, again, 6 games, trade deadline here. And we will we'll have to see how this slate pans out. Point guard position. Anthony Edwards is your top price point guard on the slate. He went for 41 and counting, I think.
There was a lot of points scored by Anthony.
He's at 44 and counting against Chicago.
5 minutes to go. He is going to score.
He might get to 50. They are up 16 at the moment, but again, Edwards 44 actual and counting. James Harden's 9K. Kyrie, Ivan Thompson, Austin Reeves, Steph Curry, Tyrese Halliburton. We'll just kind of cut it off there.
Okay, so 8K and up.
8K and up. Eamon Thompson at 84 continues to be a really good option for us.
Poor, with the possibly worst turnover of the year.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Definitely an ugly loss to Brooklyn, but you were at least commenting, hey, second leg of a back-to-back, maybe there's some limitations. He played 40.
Yeah, it's great. Great. Honestly, great.
He wasn't really good, but he played 40.
No, it's just, you're right. Like, obviously he wasn't good, but I think we say this a lot. Like, more importantly, he played the 40, right? So probably past the calf thing.
Oh man, Irv Gotti died. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's a rapper. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh,
you that young?
I'm only a few years younger than you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Who was he? Is he in a group?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a known person.
I'm sure. I mean, as someone who likes
he's
rap,
he's a music producer. Ja Rule was the one that I associate him with, but DMX, Ashanti, that whole crew.
Okay. I will listen to some music that he's made after the show for sure. So I like Amin Thompson. I think this is a pretty interesting point guard spot. Obviously, Ant will see Amin Thompson a lot in this spot.
Yeah.
We'll also probably see Dylan Brooks because nothing more annoying than those two players guarding you in the same game, I'm sure. Second leg of a back-to-back, tough, but you could always play Ant if you want. There's some interesting comments coming out of the Clippers. I don't know if you saw it, but Kawhi basically blamed the second unit. Ty Lue has basically said, you would think getting your best player back would make everything good. It hasn't. They have to figure stuff out. And Harden looked really bad the other day. You could definitely go back to the well. It's a pace-up spot for the Clippers. Indiana's bottom 10 defensively. So I'm good with Harden. I just think interesting things being said in LA right now. I said it to you the other day in that spot that Kyrie Irving had against Philly. I loved it mainly because of the minutes and how shorthanded they are.
Yeah.
I know Anthony Davis could be back. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. When you get a top 10 player in the NBA this year, Anthony Davis, I think firmly in the top 10, which is what makes this trade even crazier that people are just casting aside Anthony Davis he is not a top 10 player in the NBA. But Drew Holiday questionable would obviously make things a little bit easier for Kyrie if Drew doesn't play. But the minutes and the volume are just continuously there for Kyrie. So I like Kyrie even in a tougher spot against Boston. No PJ Washington for sure. He's already ruled out. And then, if Davis plays or doesn't, I think either of them benefit Kyrie. Having Anthony Davis helps a lot, and not having Anthony Davis, more burden for Kyrie. So I like him in either scenario. We talked about Thompson. Reeves, I like that the price is coming down. He hasn't had to play a lot of minutes and has looked really good in back-to-back games. Would have soared over. Did soar over both outcomes. Uber efficient shooting, obviously, for a guy who hasn't been this efficient, but he can obviously, and the peripheral stats have been great. So if you want to play Reeves,
and probably your last chance to play Reeves, right?
Yes, for sure. Forget it. Yeah, forget it. But honestly, they've even said I heard Bobby Marks from ESPN talk about Reeves is the easiest contract for the Lakers to trade. That's their best contract to trade. So and also you probably could use him in an upgrade sense because you need a third playmaker on the floor.
Right. Good trading for Vuk.
Yeah, if he's on the team. I don't think what's his name said, Pelinka said, doesn't seem like Vuk is gonna fit. They want he literally said lob threat.
Yeah.
Vuk is not that. So
no, and then they threw out Mitch Robinson. I'm like, that guy is as fragile as
That's not the one. My personal opinion is if Walker Kessler would be available, that would be the guy they should go get. Young, massive center that blocks shots. They need defensive help, and but if Reeves is on the team for sure, I guess TBD if Curry plays. He played didn't he play that back-to-back where he was he randomly decided to play?
We thought he was going to be out, and then he played.
It was the Chicago one.
He popped up questionable too, and then he played.
And then he played. So I guess TBD, but if he plays, 82 is obviously cheap. And then, the Halliburton stuff, it's just a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare.
How does he go a game with 3 shot attempts?
You dude, it's that is not forgivable, right? If you're tired, if you're like Rick Carlisle, you're like, dude, go home and think about the game that you just played, that you
Right.
took 3 shots. I
Think
don't
about
care.
what we need out of you to win basketball games, right? It's not to take 3 shots.
There's just no scenario in the world where he's taking 3 shots and that's like acceptable. There's just not. It's just not.
Here below, Jamal Murray, Malik Monk, $7,800, $7,700. We'll see, I guess. Sacramento, Orlando, they're playing right now, so I guess we'll see how Levine and Monk and that whole rotation sort of play together. I don't think it's honestly gonna. I wrote this up in the playbook, and I guess we'll see if I was right or wrong. But I said I don't think Monk is honestly going to be as impacted by Levine.
Nope.
Whereas Levine would be more impacted, I think, by going to Sacramento. Monk's already played with this team plus De'Aaron Fox and has had no problems being productive. So I'm less worried about Malik Monk here for Sacramento.
I agree. Massive assist percentage, by the way, without De'Aaron Fox on the floor.
Yeah. Should be a good spot for him there. You have Scoot, Simons, Derek White, Cole Anthony. That next group down. Anything there for you?
I would just like to give a hat tip to Portland.
Sure.
How good they are, because they're good.
Dude, something.
They just keep winning.
He's got something going, right? Like
they just keep winning. But I think the point remains, like, I still do feel like Scoot is too expensive, although he continues to produce. I would probably just rather play Simons in this.
Which it's kind of been the company line for us.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
he's cheaper. He's multi-position eligible. The minutes have been more consistent.
Takes more shots on average.
Takes more shots. Yeah, I mean, there's just,
we're on another really good run for Derek White. He goes through these stretches where it's like he might be the best player on the team. Like,
dude, I mean, you know my feel. I mean,
I know.
This guy is unbelievable. Dude, watching him play basketball, I feel like there are so few players in the NBA that have better instincts than Derek White.
Yeah.
He is always in the correct place at all times. Offense, defense, he is just unbelievable.
He's just like the one guy this year that DraftKings has just sort of always had priced appropriately.
Yep.
So you never really get like, oh man, a great value in Derek White. It's like, no, he's 6,300. He'll go out there and give you 30 to 40 range of fantasy points, and he'll give you the 5 to maybe 6x on a good day. Great cash game play.
Yep.
Jericho Sims being traded to the Bucks
as part of the Kuzma Middleton trade.
Okay.
So that probably completes the trade. I feel like every trade that we've seen has needed a third team.
Probably.
Right? Because even the Luka trade, Utah was just randomly in the trade.
What are the Knicks getting? Like a second round pick or something like that?
The Knicks are probably, I mean, they dumped the salary and probably get, like salary relief or pick, or I'm sure the Shams will release like the
we'll get that. So
trade,
Sims, as they mentioned, I mean, are you now moving Mitch Robb though? If you're also moving Jericho Sims, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, you also don't know what else they're potentially going to do, right? There's also other stuff that the Knicks are probably going to be in on. But it just depends. Like they've relied on Precious lately. Do they?
Yeah.
Is that something that they're now like relying on heavily moving forward? You know?
Is Orlando going to continue to rely on Cole Anthony here?
That's so good. Now, like,
they have Bankero and Wagner back, and yet Cole Anthony is going 43, 42 fantasy points.
Look. We know how this goes. I'm just saying. We know how this goes.
Yeah.
He re-entered the starting lineup on Wednesday. Paolo and Franz are both there, both cooking. He's going to come into this game and be like, wow, Cole Anthony's looked great lately, huh?
Yeah.
And Anthony Black's going to play 35 minutes off the bench because Cole Anthony's 0 for 6 with 3 turnovers in like his first stint, right? It's like $6,000. It is a good spot. Obviously, Denver shorthanded.
Yeah.
Probably don't play Aaron Gordon on a back-to-back, so they're probably even more shorthanded than they were, than they are normally. So yeah, but just it's one of those large field only type plays.
I mean, to your point, obviously, it's way too early to call it on this one. But they've played the first. I just scored. I was gonna say they played the first 6 minutes of this game, and he hadn't taken a shot attempt yet. But as I say that, he just
scored. He scored as you were about to say, hasn't taken a shot.
As I said, he hasn't taken a shot yet. He scored. So, all right, we'll see what happens there. But obviously, we know he can be an absolute lightning rod offensively.
He can. So, he really can.
Again, they're another guard-heavy team that was linked to guards. You're like, why do you need more guards? You have so many of them. Andrew Nembhard's here, defensive player of the month. Andrew Nembhard.
Yeah, it was he's been great offensively too.
Played his over 1.5 blocks and steals yesterday on PrizePicks. Had that one almost instantly. Had a steal within the first minute of the game, and then picked up the second one in his second shift. So be on the lookout for those props. But Nembhard's been really good, dude. I was high on him going into this year. Remember us talking about it.
You were.
And he got off to that slow start. Then he got hurt. But since he's come back, he's really kind of asserted himself. So
he's been great.
Do like him. He fills the stat sheet up.
Very safe, right? Just a very safe, secure play at that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Halliburton and the assist numbers that he gets, but then Nembhard will have games of 7 and 8 assists too. They just feed off of each other there. So 5K and under range. I guess we would consider going back to Podziemski here.
Yeah. I mean, they just traded half their team, and if there's no Moses Moody
or Steph,
yeah, I mean, for sure. And I think you'd have to assume, in that case, Podziemski's playing basically in general, right? Starting, playing in blowout, just on the floor, no matter what. So,
yeah,
I am definitely in on Brandon Podziemski.
He's played the most minutes of any Warrior the first half of this game, 19. He's also got 17, 4, and 3.
Wonder if anyone.
Can you imagine looking at his point prop at 9.5? And
what was it again? Oh, it was 9.5. Right,
9.5.
I forgot. Yeah.
Listen, I'll say this. At least it's time stamped, right? You can go back and watch the live stream, and I'm like, hey, Podziemski's 9.5 points. I kind of really want to play that.
He is.
Obviously,
watch out for Celtics. If there's no Holiday, we're playing Pritchard.
Yeah, dude.
Probably play Pritchard anyway.
I understand that. So, doing some reading, we've talked about this, I think, on the show, or maybe at least privately.
The Drew Holiday thing, right?
Drew Holiday is the most likely Celtic to be dealt because the new ownership group, because the Celtics are for sale, they're trying to get under the luxury tax. However, the trade of Jaden Springer today helped them get
into the second apron.
To a different. So now it kind of allows them to get into the offseason to trade Drew Holiday.
Okay.
But he is the one. So if something comes to Boston and they need to improve or whatever, Holiday could be the guy to go. I think it's funny that he's the one that pops up right on the injury report because he's the one that's rumored with the trade. So, we'll see. Obviously, was not very good against Cleveland as you played, and we talked about. So, get that guy.
He is. You're right though. When you think of the construction of that team, he is definitely the most like Derek White is an elite on-ball defender, and you just especially with how the East, you're basically playing Cleveland as of right now. We don't know, but Cleveland double big in a conference finals, you just have Horford, right?
I mean, listen, I do not want to trade him until the offseason because if you go into a playoff series and you're having to give legitimate defensive minutes to Peyton Pritchard,
yeah, it's true.
You're in trouble there. I'd rather just have the big body of Drew Holiday and let him go. But
it's not wrong. That's not a wrong.
We'll see. I saw, believe it or not, a tweet today suggesting that Marcus Smart could be available in Memphis, and if there would be a path to Marcus Smart returning to Boston with Drew Holiday going out the door, sort of deal, and whole thing. And it's you know what?
That's a good one.
Smart's got.
I like that one.
See something like that. You never know. I don't see it happening, but it would be interesting if it did. Any other point guards here for you?
I mean, there's always the TJ McConnell stuff. And he look at 18 minutes. He had 28 fantasy points in 18 minutes. So like,
will Conley play the back-to-back?
That's a good shout. He sat, I think, their last back-to-back, and then they started an AEW. So I know we want it to be Dillingham. I know you long for it to be Dillingham.
All of us should long for
No,
it.
No, I agree. I just assume it wouldn't be Dillingham.
Yeah,
because the NAW was the last time they did it.
Yeah. All right, shooting guard. A lot of these guys we've discussed. Jaylen Brown at $8,000. Again, not a good spot for him against Cleveland. Had the foul trouble, but 9-6 and 10-6. Like the peripheral stats are rebounding and assist wise have been good for JB. Just did not have the shot going against Cleveland. Maybe he gets that going. But we talk about it like we want an under 8K Jaylen Brown. He's at 8K. So.
right on the number. He's fine. He's fine at the number.
Jalen Green, $7,300. Norm Powell, $69. Listen, Norm had 30 fantasy points, 20 actual in the game. They lost by 50. You know, like a bad math, 30. Like he wasn't terrible. But I will say this though, I did also. I think I shared with you the graphic. PrizePicks had Norm Powell points at 22.5, and then his points and assists at 22.5. And I was like, why wouldn't you just take the points and assists? I did, and that was the difference because he only had 20 actual, but he had 3 assists. So he hit the over. So I'm more than willing to go back to Norm Powell at 69 nice and get that into your lineups there. A lot of these other guys we've kind of already talked about. They did pump up your boy Tamani Kamara to $6,000.
They're just doing this because like they haven't bumped Jokic to like the price he should be for the last 2 months, and yet Tamani Kamara is getting like casually bumped like this. I mean, what are we doing? It's just to haunt me. I mean, but like, would you play 6K Kamara or would you play 5,500 Christian Brown or like 56 Nembhard, right? Or 5,000 Max Christie, who's the best player on the Dallas Mavericks the other day, in 32 minutes off the bench. I mean,
pretty crazy, right? I mean, listen, Christian Brown, obviously. Now it is the Orlando matchup. Super slow pace, but
yeah.
Nembhard could be probably a better.
I think the Denver stuff, I don't disagree, but we just have to factor in how shorthanded Denver is and potentially can be. Like they don't bring anyone else into the rotation, right? Like, and is Aaron Gordon? I don't think Aaron Gordon's going to play a back-to-back. That's just my opinion. Maybe he does. Maybe
no. You're not wrong. Right now, I mean, listen, they've played 10 guys tonight, but only one of those 5 from the bench have played more than 5 minutes. So
that's insane. And I'm assuming it's Julian
Strother. Yeah, Strother's played 12. But the entire starting lineup is 22, 25, 23, 25, 22 right now. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. So that's where
it's just one of those things where like
Christian Brown, by the way, 19, 7, 2, 1, 1 in 22 minutes against New Orleans tonight. Pretty good.
Pretty
good. Cam Whitmore, $4,100. 24 minutes, 23 minutes, last 2 games. Minutes have been good. Still no Fred VanVleet. We would more than likely, I would assume, get Tari Eason back for this one.
Yes, I think he's off. I think he is fully off the injury report. No, he's not. He is listed. They have not released their injury report. So
DeLon Wright and Cash go to the Knicks, by the way.
That seems like a buyout. It seems like DeLon Wright is probably not long for the Knicks, but
I would imagine that cash that's being sent is to pay for DeLon Wright to get off.
Yes. Yep. Agreed.
You know what, DeLon? Don't fly here. We're okay. Stay where you are.
I like DeLon Wright, but it's been tough sailing for him the last couple of years.
Agreed. So again, Whitmore's always a tournament play, but the minutes could be shriveling up a little bit on him. No VanVleet still helps, but you get Tari Eason back there. Yes. Anything else here for you?
Shooting guard. I mean, Hield. He started. I think Buddy Hield. I guess, John, if there is no Tari Eason, Reed Shepherd, by the way, Reed Shepherd played 28 minutes the other day. Did you see the Reed Shepherd game? 16, 7, 2, and 2. And after the game, Ime Udoka said he's too good to be playing in the G League. So if there's no Eason, like if I don't think Eason would sit here, but if he did, I would play some Reed Shepherd.
Okay. Small forward, Jason Tatum's 98, Franz Wagner's 85. Again, this is a good spot for Orlando offensively.
Yes, great spot for Orlando.
We'll see how they go against Sacramento. Obviously, they were off to a good start. And he's been really good. Banchero's kind of been but like Wagner's been good the entire time. So you want to go there at $8,500, certainly good. Again, Tatum's good. Evan Thompson, we talked about, good spot for them. Would you have a preference of that top three?
Tatum, I really like. He just missed a lot of shots the other day. Franzito, I have absolutely never any doubt on playing, especially at this price. And Amen Thompson's great. I don't think there's a preference. I think there's a case for all three. I guess Franz at the price. Franz at the price in the matchup would be my preference.
Sure. Mid-tier, a lot of these guys we've touched on. Kawhi, $6,800. I know, again, wasn't the greatest game the other day.
Yeah, it's minute. He's going to play more minutes in a competitive game.
Yeah, I agree. Anything else as we work our way down this range for you?
Don't play Andrew Wiggins.
Yep, it's true.
Just confirming, don't play that. You never can guess how many minutes Denny Avdia played in that game, John.
23. After playing 44 before that.
The answer is actually quite simple here.
Okay.
I don't care that Orlando is the opponent. Michael Porter Jr. Dude, this version of Michael Porter Jr. is the version that you and I have begged for 4 years now.
Yeah.
All we've wanted for Michael Porter Jr. is to be this good. Do you know how many points Michael Porter Jr. has as we're recording right now?
I don't. How many?
Well, considering he just scored the last 8, he is up to 33 on the night. He is in the third quarter, Michael Porter.
Seems useful.
If we're just going to get 40 minutes and just elite scoring from Michael Porter with a shorthanded team, I'm just playing Michael Porter night in, night out. 40 minutes, shorthanded rotation, shot falling, period. I'm playing him. That's it.
Yeah, listen, I get it. You and like 6 other people had the same idea tonight. So
matchup be damned. Matchup be damned. Me and 6 other people, we saw the vision.
True. You guys knew that Brandon Podziemski was going to have a ceiling. And, he's just out there having a day. Hi.
Eyes emoji.
Eyes emoji. All right. So Hachimura. John, 2 days ago, was like, you know what? Hachimura's 3-point prop looks awfully low. Nailed it in the first quarter.
God, wasn't it like the first 3 possessions? You messaged me, you're like, dude, he already has it. It was like the game. I swear I looked at my phone. It was like 8-0.
Yeah, he knocked down the first one almost like immediately, and then hit a second at like the end of the first quarter. So, anyways, he's shooting threes. He's making threes. He's making all of his shots. Again, probably your last opportunity to play him. I mean, he's slightly less affected as I think Reeves would be with Luka.
Yep.
Because his role is just going to be to stand here, Rui, and just stay out of the way. And if we kick it to you, you're now PJ Washington.
PJ Washington. Yep. You are now PJ Washington.
You've graduated. So you play him now. Play him now while you can. It's going to be a good spot for him against Golden State here.
I think he's going to be very popular, but I think it's a great play. The minutes are great. The volume's super solid. The production is equal to it. And He's up to 43% from three this year. I mean, that is not what I expected from Rui, but if that's the version we're going to continue to get, then sign me up for sure.
Dude, the last three games, so he's been really good from
He has been. And that's, coincidentally, 80's been out all of those. Obviously traded, but he's been out all of them too.
What do we do with Exum? 20 minutes back-to-back games, 4K?
Started back.
Yeah.
And I think you bringing him up, but he started in that game with everyone basically healthy. I assume he starts again with no PJ. They started Kessler Edwards, but my assumption, if AD plays, they've already said AD is going to play power forward. So Kyrie, Exum, Clay, and then
Davis,
AD Gafford. Yeah. And now, I guess in theory, if Max Christie that first game just played himself into a start, because they did. Dude, Max Christie's 21. He's a 3-and-D guy. So they're obviously they saw something in him. Maybe they start Christie, maybe they don't. But if they don't and they start Exum, I do think that he is at the very least viable. I don't know how many more minutes he's going to play than 20, but he's at the very if he is going to start, I think he's viable.
Sure. You think Strother plays more minutes here? No Watson, maybe no Gordon, second leg of back-to-back?
Yeah, and no Russ. I think if there's no Aaron Gordon, fire me up Julius Strother for sure. He's going to play mid to high 20s minutes, and we know he has a super high scoring ceiling when he's feeling good.
Sure. All right. Anybody else?
No.
Okay. Power forward. LeBron James and Anthony Davis here, 10-8, 10-5. There was a lot of talk on LeBron ahead of that slate. Looked pretty damn good to me. He just didn't need the extra 6 minutes he usually gets.
Yeah, they just blew him out. He easily has a 30-point triple-double if that game stays close.
Right?
Not even
on his way to 70 fantasy points, probably.
Dude, 70 fantasy points, 30-point triple-double, without almost a doubt. Right? I mean, without a doubt.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would have no problems. 10-8, the price is shooting up, though, but he's there.
Yeah.
Then again, maybe AD debuting against Boston here. We talked Tatum already. Again, Banchero has not been the guy we had hoped since he came back.
No.
Could be a spot for him to maybe get right. Again, if there's no Gordon, they don't have there'll be. You said Zeke Naji would be the guy that starts probably.
Yeah, probably Zeke Naji. Yep. That's right.
It's a good price for what we know the player can be, but he's just not performing at that level yet. So,
I mean, I don't disagree with performance stuff. Warriors game, he had a 30% usage rate. Jazz game, he had a 26% usage rate. Portland game, he had a 38% usage rate. The usage rate's not going away. He's still been. So I'm definitely in on Paolo. Just want to comment. I think this is the first time all year we have gotten the AD power forward eligibility. That's
fair.
It's a new fair. And obviously that's where
he's going to play
him.
Power forward, so.
But that is a big deal, right? If we get multi-positional AD.
Yeah, you start building those AD Jokic lineups.
Dude, he's going to be really popular moving. AD's going to have, I would say, night to night, AD's going to have one of the highest ceilings on a nightly basis.
Yeah, listen, the one thing we liked about this move is that it's just obviously it's not going to impact what Anthony Davis is doing, going from LeBron James to Kyrie Irving.
No.
Kyrie Irving's going to benefit from not having to share the basketball with Luka Doncic, right?
Yes.
Is going to have the ball in his hands and get the ball to Anthony Davis, right?
And he has this guy as a pick and roll, pick and pop partner.
Yeah.
This guy is as good as that gets.
LeBron's going to have the biggest problem now because he's going to have to share or vice versa with Luka. They're going to have to share the basketball, right?
I'm sure they'll be fine because Wade and LeBron figured it out, right?
But we did see Kyrie not have huge games when Luka was there.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. No, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying they're two of the greatest basketball minds ever. They're gonna figure it out.
They're two big triple-double guys too, they can't all get the same rebounds and assists.
Yeah. Well, if Jokic and Westbrook can do it.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so they're obviously fine. Siakam, Yeah, not a good day for anybody there the other day. So.
Yeah, except Nembar, who's just Mr. Consistent.
True. Porter's here. Nas Reed, fine. Takachimura.
Oh, Nas Reed. Nas Reed, definitely good. Yeah. He went for he had another 50 piece nugget tonight.
No, he's good.
He's No, he's good. No, yeah.
No,
he is good. He's good.
I mean, he's good defensively. I mean, they're
yeah. No, I know. No, I know. But like, if this is where we're gonna get Nas Reed starting, trade Randall tomorrow. Don't keep him. Trade him.
Nobody needs Julius. I told you from the beginning. Julius Randle, Nas Reed is what they wanted Julius Randle to be. He's a big that can actually hit threes and like play a little defense. And
dude, Nas Reed is like Julius Randle is like the perfect, like, who are we talking? Like the perfect, I think he's too good to be on the Wizards. He's like the perfect, who's like a step up from the Wizards?
A step up from the Wizards?
I mean, everyone, obviously, but who's like just like above the Wizards?
Portland?
No, they're too good, dude. They're like 9-1 their last 10. Who's
Charlotte?
Like, yeah, he's like the perfect Charlotte Hornet, Julius Randle. Like he's like Miles Bridges without like like being a better person.
Sure.
Like he's just the better person, Miles Bridges.
Marginally better person. He seems like with all of his antics on the floor, I guess, throwing iPads and being unhappy.
Yeah, you know what? Julius Randle, perfect Brooklyn net.
Yeah.
Get him on the Nets.
I'm surprised he hasn't been a net yet, honestly.
I'm surprised he hasn't been a net.
All right.
That's hilarious.
So that's fine. Nas Reed was really good again, doubled.
Yeah.
See anything else value-wise? You mentioned Najee. Probably starts. Played 31 minutes.
Yeah, he hasn't played a lot on the Wednesday slate, but Aaron Gordon was active. And this is just, for all those tuning in 37 minutes in, this is assuming Aaron Gordon is not playing.
You're just tuning in now in the middle of a recorded show. Go back to the beginning.
Just also, if you are just tuning in, smash the like button. Welcome to the show. We
hit that like, that subscribe, that share.
we go live Monday through Friday, 5 times a week, and we also, do this podcast. Howard actually asked me today, John. He's like, "Wait, do you guys go live and do a morning show still?" It's like, yeah, we do.
Yeah, because he wanted me to do the live show, the radio show today. I said I could, but I'd be recording for like 4 straight hours. Do a live show from 5 to 6, the radio from 6 to 8, and then like James and I got to record the night show.
Yeah, record the night show.
Get everybody ready. We're here for the people.
If I got a couple names for you. If Holiday sits, Horford would start. He looked really good against Cleveland in the double big setting.
Yeah.
I'd assume if AD plays, that could be something that Boston explores a little bit more, like they did the other day too. With if Dallas is running out the AD Gafford line. I mean, Horford got extended quite a bit. I'd assume if he starts here, that would be the case once again. And then Dorian Finney-Smith, I get he had early foul trouble, but he's been playing big minutes. I assume they're going to start him again, especially with Golden State playing like relatively small. I'd assume that's going to happen again, and we're going to get like a lot of small ball Dorian Finney-Smith. So just as a punt play, Finney-Smith, like last piece in, I don't hate.
Yeah, I mean, center. The Joker's 12-8. He is currently a 30-point double-double, 3 rebounds away from a triple-double for Nikola Jokic here.
Why does that not start 1-3?
Soon, I would imagine.
Next slate, right? He's going to be 13K?
Because assuming this game continues on the pace it's at, he'll finish with 70-plus fantasy points for the 3rd straight game.
Yep.
And then at that point, the minutes should just be where they're at.
Yes.
Sabonis versus Portland. You got to go back to face the dad's old team, so you get that narrative.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Zinger's up to 75. Hey, we got a little price bump on Kristaps Porzingis.
Gosh dang, he should be. Should probably be here, right? I mean, anytime he's extended.
7 for 20 shooting.
Dude, anytime the guy's extended, he has, even when he doesn't shoot the ball well, he hasn't shot the ball well all but once in this 4-game stretch, and only once he's gone less than 40 fantasy points. Yeah. So, like, you know.
Him and AD will have a good matchup with each other.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Zubac, 72.
Yeah, Zubac's is fine. Zubac's is definitely fine. Gafford, I mean, I love DeAndre Ayton. He got in massive foul trouble to the point that they had to start Rob Williams in the second half of that game.
I saw that note that Rob Williams is starting in the second half.
Yeah, it was foul trouble. He had 4 fouls at half, DeAndre Ayton. So they just started Rob Williams. And they never need to play Ayton again. But every time he's been extended, he's been awesome.
We talked Naz Reid. There's Gobert in the spot. Miles Turner, 62. Let's see. Anything else?
I mean, it's tough. Like talking Magic.
They started post.
They have been starting post. Yeah, they've been, and if TJD is out, they will continue to start post. My thing here, especially with the Lakers, though, John, is that they're playing so much small ball with Dorian Finney-Smith. I am very reluctant that it wouldn't just be, if Draymond even plays second leg of a back-to-back, that's also something to consider. But I really think that they would just simply play a lot of Draymond at the 5 in this game.
Yeah, Draymond's at 24 minutes right now, 4, 3, 6, and 2 against Utah. Kevin Looney's up to 17 minutes. Quentin Post is at 17 minutes, so they're kind of spreading that front court around there.
Yeah, with no TJD, right?
Yeah, with no TJD. Yeah. All right, let's figure out what we want to do here. Time to build a lineup for those of you who are just tuning in right now.
Hey, if someone's tuning in, welcome to the show. We go live.
Spitefully click on Brandon Podziemski here.
You know what? It's a good spiteful
click.
Though. It's a good spiteful click, honestly. It is.
Michael Porter going on pace for 70 fantasy points tonight. Michael Porter Jr.
He is. Yep. It's good. Very good at basketball.
Very good at basketball. Not that there. Let's see. Can we do this?
You know what? Like,
get some value
if we were making an all first our guys team, Michael Porter is on that team.
Dude, we were arguing. We were arguing Michael Porter better than Luka Doncic at one point. Now we've since been proven incorrect on that take, but
that would be. Hey, but you know what? Michael Porter hasn't
been traded. Not today. We weren't incorrect.
Michael Porter hasn't been traded, John.
That's true.
Yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. He hasn't been traded.
Not yet. Christian Brown.
I like this lineup.
$5,200. I'm just throwing it together here.
I like it. No, I like it. I like it. Everything about it.
Lombard.
Every single thing about it.
There's got to be another value play that we can plug in here.
Yeah. A fourth nugget.
Say Zeke Najee.
$6,400. Dante Exum, 4K.
You like Exum over Najee?
Yeah, just, you're not wrong about Orlando's slow pace. I think, Denver is going to be shorthanded. I have a tough time oh, no. No. The lineup was perfect until the end.
Yeah, but it's a Denver poor defense. So
maybe we do play Najee so we can get the Naz Reid.
Cole Anthony, by the way, doing nothing. Not nothing, which means you play him now because he's doing nothing on the night before.
Oh, no.
All right. 6K. Well, you don't want to play Tamani Kamara either, so
find me a couple $100, please.
we gotta go Najee then.
Do we play 4 Nuggets? Are we cool with that?
How do you spell this guy's name?
NN. Zeke and Najee. Yeah.
Would have never gotten that correct. Derek White. Naz Reid.
You're like, I swear this is how Najee Marshall spells his name.
It is how Najee spells his name. All right. Brandon Pajemski, Christian Brown, Rui Hachimura, Michael Porter Jr., Nikola Jokic, Andrew Dunbar, Zeke Najee, and Naz Reid. $100 left over.
7:30 start, by the way.
Extra half hour to think about it.
Island game, and then 3:10 p.m. slate.
Yeah, Dallas, Boston, and then a bunch of late games. So that's what we're looking at. Of course, if you don't want to play Nikola Jokic, you don't have to. He's just gonna go for 70.
He's just good. That seems like a wrong decision.
Yeah. So there it is. We'll be back live at 5 p.m. Eastern time. We appreciate y'all tuning in each and every day. For those of you tuning in right now, thanks for coming. We'll be back live at 5 p.m. and we will catch you.
What a silly show.
Catch you guys later.
What a